Welcome back to beyoungministry.blogspot.com. Also to those of you who access the podcast through YouTube, we're glad you're here. It's another great day here in Elgin, South Carolina, where I live. Hope you're doing well. Today's podcast is in 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 10 through 13, which reads, "But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. The elements will be destroyed by fire, and the earth and everything done in it will be laid bare. Since everything will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you to be? You ought to live holy and godly lives as you look forward to the day of God and speed its coming. That day will bring about the destruction of the heavens by fire, and the elements will melt in the heat. But in keeping with his promise, we are looking forward to a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness dwells." Again, that's 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 10 through 13. It's clear that the end of the world is coming. We live in a day where many are predicting its impending end. Of course, a lot of people attribute that to climate change. The Bible attributes it to God's will. According to 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 10 and 11, Peter says the materials within the earth will be destroyed, and those materials will be used to destroy it. Think of it, we have fire all around us. We have the sun, for example, some 93 million miles away. Its core is 29 million degrees hot. And we also know that the core of the earth is made of molten rock with a temperature of 12,400 degrees Fahrenheit. The whole earth is like a ticking nuclear bomb. It's fascinating to realize that in Colossians chapter 1, we learn that it is Jesus Christ who not only made the earth, but he holds it together. He is the creator of that which holds all things in this earth together. And one day, he who has always held this earth together and its universe together, he will let it go. He will undo what he has done. This is described in many passages in the Bible. Daniel chapter 12, Joel chapter 2, Matthew 24, Revelation chapters 6 through 16. There are many others in 1 Thessalonians and other passages in the Bible, but those are just a few. Peter's point in our text today is clear. Since life as we know it on earth will come to an end, what sort of people should we be? We should be the type of people who are marked by the knowledge that God has favored us through his Son. And we should look for opportunities to share this good news with all who we come in contact with. In verse 12 of our text today, Peter says we should be looking for signs of the end. Then in verse 13, Peter writes, in keeping with his promise, Peter says we are looking for a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness dwells. Earlier, Peter said we should be holy and godly. Holy in the sense that we are whole and complete, and we don't need anything to fulfill us anymore, since the God of creation, the God of all, has favored us through his Son. We've arrived through Christ. Godly in the sense that God is now defining our lives, defining our choices, not that we are somehow better than anyone else. And because we're holy and because we're godly, we're looking for this place where righteousness, that which is right, that's the way it should be, will dwell, and it'll dwell forever. We should not be surprised, for all of this has been predicted throughout the scriptures. Isaiah 65 and verse 17, we read, "Behold, I will create new heavens and a new earth." Revelation 21 verse 5, we read, "He that sits on the throne said, Behold, I will make all things new." God will create a perfect home filled with redeemed people willing to serve their Creator and enjoy Him forever. In Isaiah 66 and verse 22, we learn that this will be a new heaven and a new earth which will last forever and ever. You see, in the end, the marriage of God's faithfulness and the believer's faith will be realized. It'll be consummated. Think of it. How great will that be? We will finally realize that which we have always hoped for. We will breathe a sigh of belief because we realize that His promises are and forever true. Let me close with the words of Jim Cymbala, who once wrote, "We like to control the map of our lives, and we like to know everything well in advance. But faith is content. Faith is content just knowing that God's promise shall never fail, cannot fail. This, in fact, is the excitement of walking with God." I trust these podcasts are being helpful to you, these blogs. Should I be in a position to be of help to you, you can shoot me an email at beyoungministry@gmail.com. Hey, I trust you have a great day.